Morphin time! That's how I end the video. God, please don't. We're gonna look at my 5 favorite Gallagher fragrances. Welcome back to J-ROYL, everyone. My name is James, and I'm joined by Manny. Thank you for being here, Manny.
Thank you for having me.
My sincere pleasure, dude.
Okay.
Not sus at all. God. So, for fans of niche and indie perfumery, you guys are probably familiar with Daniel Gallagher of Gallagher Fragrances. He's been getting a lot of buzz in the fragrance community, and I wanted to give you my take on my 5 favorite Gallagher fragrances. And Manny will give his take on them as well. Without further ado, I just wanted to preface this video by saying that these fragrances were sent to me by Daniel himself to review. Not for free though, I paid for all this stuff. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for not hooking me up. Without further ado, so my number 5 Gallagher fragrance, LOREN, or LOREN.
LOREN.
Now this fragrance, it is a nice fruity floral fragrance. It also is probably the most feminine fragrance on this list. It has that mid of rose. You got bergamot, you got lemon verbena.
You got black currant as well.
To me, this is a soapy floral fragrance that kind of reminds me of Prada Amber Pour Homme. Not as soapy, no.
But you do get more floral nuances, which I actually appreciate.
Yeah.
I think it's actually pretty wonderful.
It's a pretty fragrance.
Yeah, and you know I'm about that stuff. Pause.
This one's interesting because it's listed as having neroli as one of the base notes. It's a lighter note that, you know, doesn't necessarily last too long.
Facts.
Again, a little more feminine leaning, but still I would say unisex. Number 5, LOREN. My number 4 Gallagher fragrance, surprise, surprise, BERGAMUST. Arguably his most popular, probably. Maybe not so much recently, but historically this is probably his best-selling fragrance. So as the name suggests, bergamot. One of those fragrances that's pretty difficult to dislike.
Yeah, unless you're one of those people who are anal about not liking cologne type fragrance, like cologne type fragrances. People who just find citruses too sharp. That being said, I'd say at least 90% of people would find this pleasant.
With the Gallagher fragrance line, what's nice about it is the fact that each fragrance kind of fits a certain role. This fragrance, like Manny said, it's your cologne. A modern, fairly masculine citrus fragrance. My number 4 fragrance, BERGAMUST. My number 3 Gallagher fragrance, Amongst Waves. This is currently the most talked about fragrance in the Gallagher fragrance line because it is a very unique take on a summer freshie. That melon that's so apparent, cucumber vibe as well. Doesn't smell like a whole lot of other fragrances out there. No, it's so unique. As fragrance enthusiasts, it's nice to get something that isn't an Ambroxan bomb.
Some people will live and or die with the melon note here. And with the fact that everything else here feels like it's pretty potent too, I do get a lot of longevity out of this and more than decent projection in the summer heat. But you know what, call me basic, I prefer maybe less avant-garde freshies.
Yes, certain people, you know, they gravitate towards the more easy to wear fragrances in the summer because heat does amplify smells and it causes you to project quite a bit and you don't want something that's too polarizing in the summer heat. Which is why designer fragrances shine in the summer. Because designer fragrances are meant to be liked by everyone, essentially, and that's why they're popular.
If your noses get bored, this is something you will potentially like, for sure.
And you know me, I like some crazy stuff. At number 3, Amongst Waves. My number 2 Gallagher fragrance, That Guy.
Oh, man.
What a name. Why I like the name, first of all, is you kind of will be that guy wearing this.
For sure.
Just like Amongst Waves, this is a pretty unique fragrance, and it's very masculine as well, while still being fruity, and there's that kind of pine note in the middle that I find would work really well in cooler weather. Very sweet black currant note in here.
Yeah.
Almost like a black currant jam that my mom used to make growing up. So there is a bit of a nostalgic factor as well for me.
That stuff is wonderful.
It's very, very good.
That's
and
really good.
If you're interested in Gallagher fragrances, get the Discovery Pack so you can check out fragrances other than Amongst Waves and BERGAMUST, because there's some really, really cool fragrances. And That Guy, for me, is probably the most immediately pleasing fragrance in the line.
I'm a sucker for anything coniferous for the most part, which you get a bit of that in here. But the fruits are done in a very vibrant way, yet aren't girly whatsoever.
No. My number 2 Gallagher fragrance, that guy. For my number 1 Gallagher fragrance, you may be wondering, what could it be, man? My number 1 Gallagher fragrance, Carpe Cafe. Man, oh man. Carpe Cafe is my favorite Gallagher fragrance, which isn't a surprise being a huge Thierry Mugler fanboy. It has a beautiful coffee note in here. The dry down has myrrh, sandalwood, some amber to it. Very unique, complex, and just extremely pleasant, you know. Not something that I could wear every day. This is a treat of a fragrance. It's something that I would wear for special occasions. It is something that I would want, you know, specific scent memories attached to it. It's evocative of the narrative, the small town cafe, the sweet, the ambery. When I first smelled this and when I continue to smell it, it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, you know.
It's a little bit more warm than some coffee fragrances that I'm pretty much used to, because when you smell Untitled Cafe by Montal, that stuff is just like, whoa.
I mean, I could even see it as a close counter fragrance. It has that warm, cuddly kind of nature to it.
Yeah, slide into your DMs, you know?
This one's slept on, guys, but if you are like me and you like those kind of woody, rich fragrances, check out Carpe Cafe by Gallagher Fragrances.
It's nice being able to revisit that one today, because it is definitely something I've even slept on.
Number 1, Carpe Cafe. So guys, that was our Gallagher fragrance video. My top 5, got them right here. I do only have decants, so this video really helped me figure out which ones are full bottle worthy. Daniel Gallagher is a really, really cool dude in the fragrance community. If you don't know him, I'm really glad I got to check these out, even though I had to pay for them.
Wow, don't do that.
I paid for them for good reason, because they're excellent fragrances. All of our links to social media are down below, and if you like what you see, please go ahead and click both Manny and I's subscribe buttons. Cascade Scents, J-ROYL, Canada.
What up?